don't like to suffer, I must know it is bad for me to do bad thing, cruel, wicked, harmful thing. If I like to have peaceful, happy, prosperous life, I must know how to cultivate and develop my way of life by doing some service to others. Therefore, another living being has nothing to do with this life.
Thank you.
Difficult for us to develop this spirituality. Spirituality means by reducing all the evil forces from the mind, cultivating all the good thoughts, words and actions in the mind, then when the mind is pure, we have cultivated spirituality. In the teachings of the Buddha, he says, the way for you to cultivate your spiritual development to find out the salvation is one way. The method for you to gain worldly material gain and power and authority is another way. These two cannot go together. If you want to develop spiritualism, you had to reduce so much of attachment, craving, anger, jealousy, grudge and ill will, then go on developing. If you are too religious, if you meditate whole day and night, you never gain anything for worldly development. If you want to experience your pleasure, your worldly gain, your material gain, meditation cannot give you anything. You have to work very hard. Buddha says, Alaso gihi kama bhogi nasadu. Those who like to enjoy worldly pleasure, if they are lazy people, nasadu, no good. The Buddha says, Asanyato pabbajito nasadu. The monks or the priest or religious people have no discipline. Nasadu, no good. Raja nasadu anisammakari. Raja, the ruler, if he is very stubborn, very biased, nasadu, no good to remain as a ruler. Yo pandito kodhano so nasadu. If educated person always show his or her anger, nasadu, no good. Here the Buddha said, don't be lazy, you must work very hard. He said, Utthana sampada, arakha sampada. You must be active. You must work hard. You must know how to protect what you have earned without wasting, without neglecting, because you want to lead a worldly life. But while you are leading a worldly life, you had to face enormous problems and troubles and worries and fears. No one can protect them. But if you work for the spiritual development, then you had to reduce all those evil thoughts from the mind, cultivate all the good thought in the spiritual development. 2 lines.
Thank you.
Chief Reverend, so I understand we are entitled to 3 questions. So my third question is, Chief Reverend, you have been talking about the mind and consciousness, but say in the last century, psychologists like Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung, they talk about unconscious or the unconscious mind. So you are talking about through meditation we can gain control of our conscious mind, but can meditation also help us to gain control of our unconscious mind, for example? Because today psychologists talk about what happened to our childhood, for example, even before age of reasoning, we will somehow influence our adult life, our behavior and actions. So can meditation also help us to gain control of our unconscious mind besides the conscious mind?
What is the meaning of unconscious? What do you mean by unconscious?
There is not conscious, a-conscious, before consciousness. For example, now something happened, child has been abused, for example. So when he grows up to be an adult, this abuse will have influence his actions and thoughts and behavior.
They have nothing to do with unconsciousness. Unconscious means when the five senses are not working with the mind, when the mind stops thinking, that is unconscious. That means mind exists, but it does not work. Unconscious. So when they meditate, they try to do this. Stop all the five senses, stop thinking, then the mind experience, it is unconscious. Mind experience the bliss. The Buddhas and Arahantas who have attained the higher stage, occasionally, purposely, spend for 7 days as unconscious, just like dead bodies. There is no difference between dead body and their body while they are in unconscious state. And during this period, they experience bliss because the burdens of physical body is not there. The hindrances, obstructions, troubles and problems they are facing because of the body. Hunger, thirst, pain, ache, suffering. So when the mind is in that unconscious state, the mind is free from the physical burden. That is the meaning of unconscious from the Buddhist point of view.
Thank you. It's 9:45. One final question.
Reverend, I have this question. From what I understand of most religion, the emphasis is on faith, on belief. And because of that faith, the followers are actually looking for salvation. They are being taught that through faith you can get salvation. Now, from what I heard about the Buddhist teaching so far, the emphasis seems to be that faith is not important. What you believe is not important because it is the universal truth and it is the mind that is important rather than the faith. In other words, what you believe does not change anything in the world. That's what you emphasize. And all these concepts that you have talked about, that because we are an ongoing matter, the molecules, the elements, everything, this world has no beginning, no end. That's, am I right to believe that if that is the case, in the case of Buddhists, the follower of Buddha, there is actually no need to even think about salvation. There is no such thing as salvation in your belief. Am I right to say that?
It is not necessary to believe or think. By knowing, the more we exist, the more we have to suffer, physically and mentally. Almost every day, complain, pain, troubles, worries, fear, disturbances, while we are living here. So if we don't like to suffer like this, then we must have an aim in our life. What is that aim? To get rid of all these sufferings and problems and troubles that we are facing. Therefore, religion